the two did last round, so they can cover it. By the way, we've just gone live, so welcome to whichever version of the stream this is. Jesus Christ, there's too many numbers involved in this at this point. How many years have we been doing the streams for now? It's been like at least 2, I think.
Oh, I want to say longer than that.
Oh God. I'm gonna check the thread quickly just as soon as we've gone live because we are extremely professional like that.
Oh yeah, we're super profesh.
The most professional. The original Seattle's Angels stream went up 10th of May 2013, so over 3 years at this point.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, I actually remember the conversation in which that started. I think it was the old FIC IRC where you guys started talking about doing a podcast for the thing.
An underappreciated podcast, thanks.
Yeah. See, I remember the first. From my experience, the first podcast was basically just Alex going, "We should get drunk and record it," and they were like, "Yeah."
Which is always the best time. So.
3 years later, we're still doing exactly that.
So who is drinking what? Let's go through the ranks here. Al is drinking a whiskey.
What kind of whiskey?
An older whiskey. It's actually a Jameson cask.
Fair enough.
Off the clock, you say.
I've got myself a bit of Glendronach. Scotch for myself. Ew.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm terrible and I'm not actually drinking anything.
Jen.
Birthday Jen.
And then I'm going
some gin. Proper.
Drinking apple juice.
Apple juice for the squirrel.
Can you handle it?
Red.
I know, right? The muscle is boring too. I'm not actually drinking anything at the moment.
No, so some of us are delinquent, but that's okay.
Yes, only some of us.
Wasn't that like a requisite for joining this group to be consistently drunk all the time? I'm pretty sure it was.
I think the requisites was just at least as you're consistently drinking during the streams.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. At the rate at which we consume alcohol, it's pretty hard to get drunk at this point. Like, it's just constant. Right. Just to explain to everyone who's watching the stream, Penstroke will be joining us in a little bit. He doesn't think he'll be able to last the full amount of time. We are too much for Penstroke officially. So he'll be joining us after we've had a bit of a chat about the last round of reviews. Speaking of which...
Should we introduce Seattle?
Ooh, we should introduce Seattle, probably. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our very own Charlie. The founder of, the person who inspired it all, without whom we would not be here today. It's Mr. Seattle Light himself.
Yay!
Cheers, guys. Glad to be with you.
Great kind of applause here.
Yeah, woo. I'm assuming they're going to say things in the chat.
They're always going to say things in the chat.
They're always going to say it. Normally unrelated to the stream, but you know.
Well, you know, we can't have everything.
Can't. True enough. So, any questions for Seattle or Penstroke, feel free to drop them in the chat. And without further ado, go for it, Arch Red. Talk about these things.
Okay.
That's your cue. Come on.
What's this? What, you expect us to be professional or something?
I mean,
okay. I was first on the review documents, so I guess I'll be first talking about the first FIC, which came first. Just find it first.
Not stalling for time at all.
Not stalling for time at all.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Would you like me to tell you, Arch?
I know exactly what it is. I've already got it. It's The True Origin of Earth Ponies by David Silver.
Right.
Quite a short fic.
Mm-hmm.
And really, in a lot of ways, it's more like a headcanon dump than a fic. But...
Hey!
No, but it's the way presented that makes it a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Apple juice seems to be going to your head there, Red. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sleepy.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
So what sort of headcanon dump is this sort of thing then? Because it can't just be.
It's about why Earth ponies exist. As
I'd figured that out, believe it or not.
Well, yeah, it explains why the mud ponies are here to serve us higher races.
All right,
who's back? Try that one again, Bucko.
This sounds like something Arch wrote.
No, Arch is all about the mules and the donkeys.
Yeah, and how they're there to serve the mud ponies.
Yeah. With toast.
Of course.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it basically talks about what is the power of Earth ponies, and there is a bit of a twist in it. So
Which
I'll
you won't
just
be
say
spoiling.
which I won't be spoiling. That
Good lad.
basically it talks about how Earth ponies are called Earth ponies because they have a unfaltering connection to the Earth, which in modern times some of them have begun to ignore, which is why people think that Earth ponies are kind of not magical, but they do have magic. It's just a very subtle kind of magic.
One
that even they have started to forget.
What kind of magic is that? What kind of magic is that?
Well, basically, the animating spirit of the Earth in general speaks to them and tells them, and that's how they grow plants so well. Then
so they're hippies, basically.
They're hippies.
Okay, cool.
But they're hippies who actually work rather than just talking about it a lot.
Yeah. Their magic power is to be a literal hippie. Okay, cool.
Well, it was a very sort of clever telling of this idea that actually explained a whole bunch of what happens in the show in a way that other fics try to and don't really manage most of the time because they just make it too obvious and upfront and fourth wall breaking and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, ugh.
And you were saying there's a mix in with a sort of like lost culture sort of thing where they've started to lose touch with the way they were and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing. Yeah.
Sounds
and
interesting.
A little bit of a kind of a dark twist on the end, but a hopeful twist as well, which I think some readers might not appreciate so much, but others will really like it. I really liked it. I'm just because I'm a sucker for world building, as you're probably aware.
Maybe just or not, yeah.
Yeah, none of us are like that.
None of us whatsoever.
Okay. So that was that. Then there was One Night in a Storm by Shrink Laureate.
Ooh, yes.
Which reminded me of an episode of Star Trek more than anything else. Even though it's a
Which
fairly
episode of Star Trek?
The one where Kirk fights the lizard man, except without fighting.
Exactly what I thought too. I was like, wait a minute, it's got to be that one.
No, I was actually thinking of an episode of The Next Generation. I can't remember the title of it, but it was an episode where Geordi and a Romulan are trapped on a planet, and Geordi can't walk, and the Romulans can't see, or something like that.
Wait, is that the one where Geordi gets gangbanged by the Romulans? Is that the one?
No.
That might be the sequel.
That was in season 8.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That's the next season one.
Wait. So Geordi couldn't walk and the Romulan couldn't see, so that basically means
I had it backwards.
Yeah, where the fuck are they at right there?
Romulan couldn't walk and Geordi couldn't see or something. But they had to work together
Geordi can't see
overcome
anyway.
their
He's
differences
blind.
and work together. And it's a classic sort of story trope.
A classic Star Trek. Yeah.
All right, continue on with the story.
Yeah, where worst enemies are kind of shackled together and they have to work.
Yeah. And that's pretty much what this fic was, and it was one of the very rare few tellings of this kind of story that actually elevated it above just it's another one of those stories into something just a little bit better because, well, I can't really describe how, so I'm going to leave that to Red.
It's not one of those stories because they're not technically enemies and there's no fighting or anything. It's about ponies, so it's about friendship and the friendship that is born through adversity. And a pony and a griffin find themselves in a cave, and they're both running away from something. And that something is gradually teased out over the course of the story as they learn how to share a space, even though their people were once enemies.
Right, okay. So which one's the Romulan? Right, story 3 then.
I would say the pony, just because.
Just to be contrarian.
Yes.
Pretty much. Right, story 3 then.
Story 3. Lost the page. Story 3, Run for the Roses by 8686.
Such a good story.
86 or...
Indeed.
Yeah, this one
my
seems to have been quite a well-received one in general. It's
84 for 0. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's a really good ratio. And it's a story told by a character that in most stories is normally in the background. So there are other stories out there about bartenders and that kind of thing, but they tend to be in the background and tend to be the character that the protagonist talks to about what's going on. But in this case, they are the protagonist, and the characters around them are sort of ancillary protagonists, and they're telling the story of what's happening in Ponyville through their own eyes, rather than it being told through the eyes of, Applejack, or Rainbow Dash, or whatever. And it was a very interesting take on the whole thing, and it was interesting seeing these characters being developed over the course of the story, sort of really quite deeply and broadly. I'm really losing my words tonight. This is actually kind of embarrassing. I can normally talk for ages about these sort of things, but
it's just your performance anxiety. For pen stroke, your one true senpai is going to be joining you.
No, it's because Seattle's here. Oh my god, I have to perform in front of
That
the
too.
original.
That's pretty much it.
That too. Your job's on the line, Arch. Don't fluff it up.
No, you're already fired, Arch. You're already fucking fired.
Ooh.
There's some of that.
Say goodbye to Arch.
Staff for attitude. EQD salt has arrived.
Red, your thoughts?
Well, this is a fine example of showing that you can make a great story out of the stories that happen around the great story, because the main conflict in this is basically what you would expect to find in like the popular box of FimFic, and that's what a regular story would be about. But it's not about that. It's about this character on the side who sees that other story happening, and you only really get what other characters tell him and what he sees, because he hardly ever leaves the bar, because he's just a bartender. He doesn't really think he can do anything outside the bar, so he just stays there the whole time, and gets a very narrow perspective on what's going on outside. But it still manages to be engaging due to the characterization, because it includes all of the main six. They all eventually visit the bar at some point, and what they do there is never out of character, and the main character himself actually has a personality. He's not just a floating camera that watches from a corner, but he is an actual realized character himself, which helps the story a lot.
So he's an OC, right?
Yeah, he's an OC.
Okay, will you walk us through a little bit of his character development?
Well, I say that now I can't really think of how to describe him.
But it sounded so good, man. Come on.
Let me read this. Let me read the story again.
Basically, the bartender is laconic and friendly and all sorts of weird little contrasts like that. But that's
he's developed a very good sense of when to be standoffish and when to actually be a little more warm.
Okay. Fair enough. So you're saying that there's a fairly standard, generic, quote-unquote storyline in this, but the fact that you're only experiencing it through this bartender's point of view, which is basically just little snippets of questionably truthful versions of that main storyline, makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But the main story itself is also pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough then.
I'm not saying that the story that it revolves around is not interesting, but it could be one of those featured fics that you see in one or more of the boxes.
So the story itself is good, but the way in which it's presented is the main draw, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It has a cracker of an ending as well, though. I'm not going to spoil it, but you expect one thing and you get something very different. It made me laugh.
Fair enough, then.
There I go laughing.
Oh, sorry, then.
The final story. Luna just learned about the play A Hearthwarming Carol by Singularity Dream.
Ooh.
What?
Yes. Luna
Yes.
basically pretends to be the ghosts of Hearthwarming to frighten Celestia.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But she's Celestia and she's seen it all before, so she just kind of
What a bitch.
Yeah.
she tries. She does her best to play along, but
Yeah.
they both kind
I
of
am
fail.
not amused.
Yeah.
Well, she really tries. And the thing that really sold this fic for me was the narrator,
Mm-hmm.
who so dearly wants it to be the way it is, and seems to is insisting that things are a certain way when they're clearly not, and is kind of
And
a
the
bit
characters
sarcastic
are like,
about the
no,
whole
this is
thing.
bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great. Dude, I'll put that link to the story in the chat box. I'm going to check that out right now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah,
Nice.
it strikes that really nice dissonance between the narrator being like, yes, Luna looks quite terrifying right now. Aren't you so scared of her? And Celestia's just like, nah.
So what you're telling me is it's the Stanley Parable.
it kind of is. Yeah.
The narrator does kind of feel like that, yeah.
Okay, that's very much convinced me because I fucking loved that game.
That was a good game. Yeah. And honestly, you'll probably find yourself laughing pretty much from the get-go because the way that all the characters are written is just they're just so real, you know. They're like the conversations that go on between them. It's just like the narrator is trying to be one thing and everything else is just falling apart all the time, and they're just not cooperating. It's just like the Stanley Parable, pretty much. Yeah.
Fair enough then. Fair enough. If you want to pop an invite along to Penstroke, I think we're pretty much wrapped up with the reviews.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely going to have to check out that last one. And so 8686 has 12 stories. Does he have 12 stories featured in Seattle's Angels?
No.
We feature that one about the gargoyle butler?
We featured a ton of his stories before. We did feature the Gargoyle Butler one. I think we did. Did we do Above All Else? I think we did Above All Else.
Was it the one that wrote Eclipse? Or was that...
Yes.
Yeah, we did that one too.
Wait, I'm sorry. How the hell does an author get 12 stories featured in SA and still get featured in SA? Do they not have the views by now?
We never made a rule about that.
No.
I mean, we're
like shouldn't their notoriety be up there by now?
They have got like a couple of their stories since they've been featured have had a couple thousand views since then, which is great. And now they've got a few hundred followers. But I don't know. I think it's because he has basically no presence on the site apart from the occasionally posted story.
He doesn't even have an avatar, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't even have an avatar. So he writes these fantastically great stories and doesn't market them in the slightest. Like,
all right. So in that case, why don't one of you guys get in touch with this dude, tell him to submit his next story to EQD, and I'll get him on the site, and then you want him to review that one.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'm just going to tell him to submit his entire bloody library because they're all pretty great.
Don't you fucking dare! Do not you fucking dare do that.
What's wrong? You don't want to do a little extra work?
Oh.
Sure.
Core has volunteered to be the EQD pre-reader for the next few hours. There we go. You can handle the queue.
Oh, speaking of Core, what are you drinking since we've all told?
Yes.
I did not know that Target does not sell alcohol, so I am drinking water, but
wow.
What is this?
But hold your horses.
Oh no.
I got myself some Tostitos and queso. So you can.
Are they fermented or what?
We can do something about that if you want.
We can do something about that.
I can act drunk. How about that? Would that work?
Holding my horn.
Oh god. Oh Jesus Christ. So yeah. Who have we featured a lot aside from 8686? Like, there's a handful of users I feel that we just keep on coming back to because people still aren't getting the hint that these people are fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitsune Risu, I think we featured a bunch.
Kitsune Risu we featured a fair few times. I think a lot of his stories are now getting that sort of view count where they're not really eligible for us anymore. But yeah, we have featured him a few times.
His newest stuff is still hurting though. He's not getting that impact anymore.
True.
I mean, that's kind of across the board in film fiction, but you know, it's like hitting him more so than usual.
I don't know.
Like his newest story I read was pretty awesome. I think he's still barely anything though.
I've got.
All right, hold everything, guys.
Hold everything.
Guys. I just found a grammar mistake in the story by Singularity Dream.
Oh my god.
0 out of 10. We'll get one of you to take down the reviews.
I'm sorry. There's a possessive apostrophe missing.
Strike it from the archives. Burn all evidence. Burn all evidence.
Send it to us now.
I'll just unpublish the story right now. So
that would be great.
fail it for lack of grammar. There we go.
Option.
Lord.
I take it you don't miss the days of you being a FimFix story prover, Seattle.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, that was like, at the same time, the most effortless and also the most painful position I've held. You know, it was like zero fucking effort or focus or attention to detail required, but at the same time, thousands of fucking stories.
Yeah, like
so
3,000 odd stories a month.
I'm like a living clickbait moderator. That's all it is. You're just a living clickbait.
Even with like auto cue.
Some reviewing, like what was it last week when you were sick on your couch? You banged through a bunch of facts.
Oh, yeah, I did. That was for EQD. I just decided to pick up the pen again with EQD and fucking jump back in there. For some reason, my email was still active after like a year of inactivity. So,
we figured you'd eventually come back, so we were like, well, we could like take him off the list, but he'll come back.
Okay. If I'm still alive, I'll always come back.
Exactly.
You can't get off Mr. Pony's wild ride. Jesus.
Nobody will ever let me go. It's the thing.
No.
You know you don't want to leave.
Well, you bastards named a fucking like famous group after me, so now it's nonsense. I told you specifically not to name the goddamn group Seattle's fucking Angels, and you didn't.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Wait a minute, we're famous?
You're already famous.
I mean, we got
relatively famous.
Comparatively
Who was the guy who commented he'd never heard of the group before in the site post?
He's been on the site for 3 years, and he didn't know how to turn off his social notifications, and he'd quote-unquote never heard of us.
Yeah, it was great.
That requires a special level of inattentiveness. Like, okay.
So he was 70 and was named Grandmama, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Apparently.
Sure. Apparently so.
Hey!
Well, there's
long enough.
Sorry.
Hey.
Wow. There's a pony with books on his head. Hooray.
Welcome to the stream, Penstroke. Jesus
Hello.
Christ.
Sorry, I hope I didn't leave you guys waiting long.
No, we were having fun.
We're just bullshitting, so that's basically 90% of the streams anyway.
We're just ragging on Seattle and making him accept that he'll never leave.
Professionally bullshitting. Thank you very much.
Guys, that's faffing. Come on.
God.
I believe the last time that you and I spoke was, wasn't it a panel at Everfree Northwest?
Let me see who this is speaking since the
Seattle.
Google is deciding. Okay, Seattle.
Right.
Yeah, that would probably be one of the last times. Yes.
Yep, I remember that one. That
How
was,
long ago
that was a good
was
time.
this Everfree?
2000 what was it? 14?
That's not too bad.
They all kind of blend together for me. I'm going to be honest. It's a little hard to be sure.
So it's about
You
the
can
same
only
for
see
me, then.
too many adults dressed up as fucking ponies before they start all blending together, right?
True enough. It's about the same for me. Yeah, last time I saw Penn in person was at BronyCon 2014 as well, and even then he was pretty ill at the time, so I only saw him for about 5 minutes. Yeah.
I recall that year well.
That's fair. I spent most of my time at the bar anyway at Everfree.
Good plan.
Good plan. Yeah, we
It
spent
works
most of
for me.
it walking between Jimmy John's and just sort of dying in the heat. Those were our plans in 2014.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, and the author's dinner, which is always fantastic.
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
It
yes.
was hilarious.
I love those things.
Sonny
I'll
says
sat
he's
next
going to be
to.
staff next year,
Ooh,
just to ensure that nothing interferes with the dinner.
That sounds
nice.
terrible.
We had to miss pony karaoke and everything.
Oh no! How
God.
could you afford to miss that? You missed them all singing the Smile song for 3 fucking hours.
Why would that happen?
Exactly.
Jesus.
Oh dear.
All right, where are we at? Let's move on with this shit.
Yeah, fuck it. Welcome
The show
to
must go on.
Indeed.
Seattle gets more
Christ.
whiskey. Be right back.
So, yeah,
Come on,
there were
Arch, go over
questions.
your
I saw
senpai.
questions.
we do have a question, a couple
Oh
of
my
questions
God,
from
people
the
actually ask
listener.
questions?
Indeed.
Well, it's Penstroke. What do you expect?
Yeah, true enough.
We had a
Making
couple
that
from
celeb
Sabred
credit for
Thoughts.
all it's worth. We have no shame.
Yeah, we've got a couple from Sabred Thoughts, one from Georg. The first one is non-pony related, but we'll ask it anyway. According to your bio, you are a computer programmer, or a nerd, in other words. Where do you have any?
Super jock.
Yeah. Do you have any recommendations on where to start studying, or anything special that someone interested in going into that field should do?
Like, what are the basics?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you muted yourself, dude.
I've just gotta. Oh, did I mute myself?
There we go.
Yeah,
You're
there you go.
Unmute. Unmute.
You're unmuted.
Done. You're done.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The most professional.
Oh, you see, no, that's part of being a programmer is the professional is not that professional. I mean, where else can you get away with T-shirt at work on a regular basis while having a desk job? Anyway,
Science.
we'll get started with programming. That is there's of course a bevy of online courses and whatnot, but I got my base level education at USC for programming, that started me off in C++, but C++ is evil, or actually all of the languages are evil, and I have an evil programmer story to share at the end of this, but I would say
Oh no, share it now.
no, it is at the end. It is dessert. It is a reward.
Yes, Dad.
It kind of depends what you're hoping to do. There's really two sides to the coin. There's front-end programming, which is kind of video games, word processors, that kind of stuff, and those languages tend to lean towards C#, C++, and other such languages that don't deal a lot with the networking. But if you're looking more for the server side, such as web development, of course, HTML, JavaScript, Python, all those things that tend to run on the server side. I'm largely client work, so for all my programming as of late has been in C# because I'm working in the Unity engine.
Oh.
But if you want to just get started, it's all you really need is pick a language and pick something you can use to compile that language. Heck, you could use the Unity engine to do C# tutorials about basic variable movement. You just have to modify them a little bit so that you get stuff to show up on screen. Because in standard C#, or if you do like WinForms or command line applications in Video Studio with C#, which you can do, it's like the output there just goes to the command line. Well, Unity, you might have to put a little text box on the screen, but otherwise you still get that output. So, and then it's just a matter of you got to start learning the basic. What's a variable? What's a class? Basically, a lot of stuff anymore, especially if you're on client side, relies heavily on object-oriented programming, so that's a methodology you'll want to lean in heavily. Now it's story time.
Here we go.
The worst programming assignment I ever had to do was from the infamous, and it was infamous, operating systems course at USC taught by Professor Crowley. This is the course that the seniors warned. This is the course that the seniors warned the juniors about. It's like it wasn't just no, we want you to suffer. It's like no, okay, seriously, there's wanting you to suffer, and then there's this, and that course involved writing an operating system or modifying an operating system simulator called Nachos. These were disgusting nachos. But
I want some nachos.
and that in itself would make for a very full semester class, because the logic and multi-threading and networking and all this stuff you had to toss into it. But on top of that, because Crowley just loves his agent programming, we had to do an agent-based simulation of his weird concept of a passport office.
Oh God.
So these little agents, and agents are like little AI machines, customers had to come in, visit 5 desks, the first 2 which could be visited in any order, and then leave. And there was the added bonus where you could have VIP guests, and VIP guests were just so darn special that everyone had to leave and wait outside the passport office until the VIPs were done with their business. And so we had to get that simulation running and working at the same time we were developing the operating system, so it became a toss-up of, oh, something's not working. Is it on the simulation or the operating system? Because guess what? We can't tell.
Oh dear. That sounds like a fun course.
This paper's place was born.
So your recommendation is to learn computer programming, follow your dreams, but so long as they don't lead to that class.
What if they don't lead to
Well, it's like the thing
Yeah.
is, some people thrive for that. There was a guy in my class named Artem who I think he works at NVIDIA now, and he loves getting down in the dirt on the optimizing renders and all this stuff. And I see a cat.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, bum,
Turn away the
bum.
microphone.
Pogo cat.
The pogo
But
cat is back.
I don't like that down low. But then again, it's like I like making the game logic, and so that's why I work at that, and it all works out.
That sounds like a goddamn fun job, Ben. Like, how else
Oh,
would you
you
rather
would
make a
think.
living?
Oh, you would think. But right now, VR is my horrible thing. Because I have to get things. Because rendering double standards, double HD resolution at 90 frames per second.
Nice.
Oh God.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift commercial versions both run at 90 frames per second. Because any lower than that, and you start to notice it, and it starts to make some people sick.
Wow.
All right.
I didn't
You
know
know-
that.
Let's all just take a step back, Penstroke. We all have to kind of just check our privilege, for a second.
Oh,
Because goddamn, do you know how many people out there, all of us, have to work in retail? Shit like that. Retail, food service, every fucking day, just to make a living. Solid. And what you're doing is solid, and absolutely every fucking listener out there should pursue this avenue. Because, I don't know, working outside of a corporate structure these days is about the only aspect of the American dream left open to our generation. You feel me?
I'm gonna continue living in Canada.
Fucking Red.
I
You get to goddamn Canada. Hey, Red, marry me. I'd like to move north.
I'm not Canadian.
Well, he's
That doesn't change anything.
Sorry, Ferret. I have too much whiskey. Ferret is the
No problem. I'll start working on that green card application.
Hey, Red,
I can appreciate dealing with people as its own hell. But
But you are also going through your own special hell.
yes. Everybody has their own hell.
Everyone's in hell.
Actually, hold on. Hey, Plum.
Yo.
I want to see your room. Show me your hell.
God.
Let us see your hell.
So
I see pictures. What are they?
there are
You're
a
with
lot
the
of
pharmacy.
pictures. I do work in a pharmacy. That is my hell. There's a lot of
Oh
pictures.
no, drugs? How bad for you? That's
I
terrible.
know.
There's access
it's,
to
fing-
the
it's finger licking good, isn't it?
Oxycodone always is.
Yeah.
Yum.
Oh dear, Jesus Christ. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things I could tell you about work. Some of them are super fucking depressing, so I'm not going to talk about that shit.
More depressing shit.
Oh God. There's a reason why I drink. So.
Right.
I thought that was
Alright,
because you
well,
were Scottish.
Well, that too.
Oh, shit.
Oh dear.
I've
No, I'm
got
not denying
a
that.
segment whenever you guys are ready for that.
Go for it.
Uh-oh. Spell it.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. So here's the thing. I've been involved in the phone community for quite a long time. I'm thinking like 3, almost 4 years at this point. Started out on fic reviewing, moved into EQD and film fiction. Started this group, Seattle Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always. But since that point, and to tail on to Penstroke's addendum, with what he's doing professionally and encourages other people of similar predilections to get into. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm a freelance writer. I write articles, website copy, and long-form editing. So essentially, what I'm doing today is making a living, and a damn decent one, off of what I did for free for the pony community and the literature community of MLP. And that is open right now. I'm going to be starting a Skype group. It's actually already in production here. For people who want to transition into making a living off writing.
Fair enough.
You should try talking to Kitsune Arisu, because he does copy editing as well.
I will do that. Send me his profile link if you would.
Excellent.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever works.
There,
But so far we've got about 3 people. This group is going to consist of the old school Pony-chan Fix community, FimFic community, as well as EQD pre-readers.
Sounds interesting.
I would be tempted, but my grammar's too horrible.
You
See, this is the benefit of programming, is I've got a compiler to tell me when something doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so the English had one of those, eh?
Am I the only one who got that? Come on, that was great.
I got. Your compiler just turns around and says, "Your OC needs some work. It's a bit one-sided."
You're fucking British, man. Stop what you're doing.
Jesus Christ.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
that's one reason I suggest C# as a language to learn in, because some languages, there's 2 languages I don't like: loosely typed and very liberal compilers. Loosely typed means, oh, I declare a variable. It can be anything.
See, and that's not computer science lingo. I'm not, like, that doesn't register with me.
Okay,
You know,
here is the ultimate variable.
Oh God.
Here's
Seattle,
the
you
ultimate
started
variable
in.
metaphor.
I'll cut it off.
When you define a variable, you create a shoebox in the computer's memory.
Okay.
If you're using C#, you can only put certain things in this shoebox. For example, you can only put sandals in a sandal shoebox. You can only put tennis shoes in a tennis shoe shoebox. Are you following me thus far?
Yep.
Loosely typed things I don't like because, oh, it's a shoebox. There could be moldy old socks in there for all I know. There's no telling what's in there without looking at it, and the whole thing is, oh, I'm going to go running. I'm going to grab stuff from the shoebox. These are sandals. These are not it. Everything breaks.
Oh dear.
And it might be that.
That's the benefit of strongly typed languages with strict compilers like C#, is something has to stay something the whole time. A tennis shoe box is always a tennis shoe box, but hey, that means you know tennis shoes are in there.
So it's a little extra work, but it reduces the chance of you fucking up colossally.
Yeah,
Fair enough then. Fair enough.
Oh, but here's a factoid. This might win you Jeopardy someday. Who here knows Roller Coaster Tycoon? The original Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
The original developer for that came from like electrical engineering side. He was used to working with things that didn't have processors, didn't have memory, and because of that, he wrote that whole game in a language called assembly. Assembly is like
You're kidding.
Is just above binary. You are moving numbers on a CPU.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
So it isn't like, oh, I want to display this string on the screen. It's like, put this in memory, add this together, put this in memory. It's like
Oh my god.
It's like, yes.
That's painful.
Yeah. Well, Chris Sawyer was a bit of a masochist, so.
I don't know if this story is true, but theoretically, when he was making the sequel, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, Maxis took out an insurance policy. Maxis took an insurance policy out on him because if he died, nobody was going to finish that.
Yeah, see, all of my clients do the same thing for me in case I drink myself to death on a weekly basis.
I mean, it's good to know.
And I wish I was worth that much to other people.
Dude, your beard alone is worth that much to me, brother.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Bill, we've been you mentioned you made it sound like there were other questions. Should we try to get back to the other questions, or do we want to keep?
There
You
were,
have one?
actually,
One of
yeah.
the questions is slightly confusing, and so I've asked him to clarify. The other question from George is, he says, is Cartography of War the Pony/Griffin story you were talking about at the beginning?
That's incorrect. I responded. It's the we were talking about One Night in a Storm by Shrink Laureate, which was on the last round of reviews. I think.
Can you parse it? Because I have no idea.
I think the top question is what areas do you recommend what? It's basically he's asking for a recommendation on how to improve his story writing.
See, that question is too general.
Yeah.
Hence why I asked for clarification.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not sure.
Hang on, I'm just trying to pass this.
Like
in the meantime, I can ask Penstroke about his fix.
Yeah, I was going to briefly mention that. Like Seattle was talking earlier
Your fiction.
Yes.
No. Oh, okay.
Christ.
Jesus
Christ. Come on. I mean, we do have Penstroke here, but we're not talking about that sort of Penstroke. So.
Well, somebody was in the chat earlier. I just think they saw
We just want to know about his exaggerated diction.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you, Red.
That was beautiful.
Right. Go on then, Ferret. Ask your thing.
Oh dear. Well, I'd be curious to hear more about like your most recent fic is the Mad Libs one, and before that you got some to the Slayer. But do you happen to recall anything about earlier stuff as well?
Yeah, I remember a lot about most of the stories I've written.
Fair enough. I don't know. Occasionally authors are like, I don't remember what I wrote last week. Please don't ask.
Dude, like, what was Aragon saying? Aragon was saying people were quoting his stories to him, and he was saying, "That's brilliant! Who wrote that?"
Well, Ghost does that.
Okay.
Ghost has had an
does that.
occasion
That's
where
just such a great
somebody
compliment.
quoted a fic to him, and he went, "Oh my God, that's amazing! Who wrote that?" And they went, "It's your story." Oh, it's crap.
Oh Lord! How the fuck do you forget what you wrote a week ago?
I don't remember that well, but I can remember anecdotes and general feels. So
Fair enough. I'm curious to hear. Go ahead.
It's like it's broad strokes.
That's fair.
It's broad strokes, not pen strokes. It's broad strokes. Hey Ben, let me just throw this out there, mate.
As long as
You
it's
read
some
too
kind of
fucking much,
stroke, we're
man.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, I'd love to hear more about Silencing Song. Because it sort of starts out one way, and then you end up kind of subverting the trope and going a completely different direction with it. So what's the story there?
I was writing a Halloween fic, which is my tradition, and what was the inspiration for that one?
Do tell.
Because, like, the previous ones were, of course, Into the Depths and From the Depths, and Into the Depths was inspired by one particular scene in the Grave Encounters movie where they open a door and it doesn't lead outside anymore. It's like, I love that scene just because of, like, the mind dooming that does. But Silencing Song, what was that? Did I just pull that one out of my backside, or?
It's entirely possible. No one's going to complain if you did.
You wouldn't be the first author to do such a thing.
God, no.
Yeah, no, it's like that one is just. Yeah, I'm gonna admit that broad stroke has faded from my memory into just sun bleached to doom.
That's valid.
Fair enough.
Oh, goodness.
I like the way you put that. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, Christ. Any other questions then, Ferret?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? I'll ask shit about all his picks. How about Last Evening Together? There's a question for you. What did you think of all the controversy that stirred up with that fic? Did you pay attention to it, or are you just going to let people care?
No, I was aware of what Reality Check did, yes.
Ooh. Throwing out names.
Oh, it's so scandalous.
Well,
He's not
I
around
wrote that entirely just for the fun of Rarity having to deal with shaving her head because it was inspired by Silpho's Monk, Celestia, and Luna fic.
Yeah.
There was no political commentary intended. There was a very little theme about being aware of what's actually valuable and whatnot, and grieving and all that stuff. But at the same time, there was just supposed to be some funny content about Rarity going whole hog about having to cut off her mane.
Yeah, and spending a beautiful evening with it and everything else.
Yes, I'm aware.
Don't worry, dude.
Easy around it after.
He's left the site for like 5-6 months now, so.
Yeah, he seems to have gone, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't listen to us anyway.
Oh God, no.
I honestly, I think he should. Everyone should.
Everyone should.
We should
everyone
be
except Reality Check.
Still, yeah, no, it's like I know he also wrote a lot of like in the past Sins universe ones, and it's like he's not a bad writer. He's a good writer. It's just I don't agree with how some of his stories go. So.
Okay, hold on. Just a quick, brief, interlude here.
Oh dear.
Past Sins was fucking awful.
Oh my God!
I love you guys. just putting that out there.
It's
All right, stream over, everyone go home.
No, sorry. There were just so many offshoots to that shit.
I feel like Penn's just used to people ripping on it at this point, though, surely.
No, absolutely. He totally should have a solid skin on this one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it's like Past Sins helped me grow my skin when it was originally coming out, but it's just like, yeah, it's like.
Right.
Really,
now you have like a fucking therapist.
Some people really liked it.
They
Other
did.
People
they
didn't.
Loved it. And there were divisive camps, which actually speaks to the literary impact.
Yeah.
It's like
I remember.
Battle lines were kind of drawn between EQD and Pony-chan, or whatever the board was at the time. It's like, it's like going onto those whatever 4chan, Pony-chan, whatever boards they were at the time, would have been equivalent of me going into a bad neighborhood.
I remember watching someone turned up in one of, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Pony-chan or MLG-P-chan, but someone turned up saying how much they enjoyed the unicorn antagonist from Past Sins, and I remember specifically Detritus tore him an absolute new one. Oh my God! It was. I'm pretty sure.
Demetrius?
Demetrius, maybe. Yes.
Yes. Okay, Demetrius. That would be solid.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It was brutal.
Oh God, no, guys, seriously, Demetrius, Ion Storm, fucking Minty Rest, like all of the big names from Pony-chan Fic, like it was pretty brutal, I gotta say. And then Fimfic loved it. Fimfic picked it up and it.
Yeah, Fimfic
EQD and Pony-chan were both like, no.
We're too good for this.
It's like the way I see it is I can definitely understand where it's not the most. It's like back then. It's like it's what's the word I'm looking for? Someone called Recon 77 put it a good way where this minus a few vocabulary terms I toss in, my diction at the time was a little bit lower hanging fruit. But here's the thing.
You've got a low hanging diction. Sorry.
He's got a low hanging fruit. Like probably a pear.
But here's the thing is, it's like, this is a quote from someone, I forget who, I think it's Mark Twain. It's like, some stories are like wine to be enjoyed slowly and sipped and flavored and whatnot. Some stories are like water. Everybody drinks water. And so I
said that like 5 years ago, verbatim.
Whoever said it, you can take whatever credit you want. That's kind of, it's like, there are stories that really make you think, and there are stories that are just ones you can enjoy for even with their flaws. It's like, I don't claim Past Sins is the greatest thing ever. I'm just glad some people enjoy it.
Right, and just like corny porn.
Jesus.
Well,
and the thing is, it's like when you have low-hanging fruit like that, that's the gateway drug. It's like, oh, I started reading fan fiction after Past Sins.
Dude.
Great, I've got other people getting read because I drew these people in.
Yeah.
I could carry on with this, but I won't.
So you're basically the pusher where the first one is free.
Yeah. Of course, the one stream you decide to join in is the one with the Penstroke on it.
Oh god, it's so convenient. It's amazing.
It's perfect.
Pen, I gotta admit, like I remember, I think I even apologized because I took a couple of cheap shots at you in the panel at Everfree for pass-ins. But I mean, can anybody blame me? No.
You see, that's kind of the trope. If you're on a fan fiction panel with me, is take shots at pass-ins, and I'll just grin at you.
I'm amazed. At BronyCon this year, the OC panel made no mention of past-ins.
Oh wow!
See?
Wow!
Barrett, thank you very much, darling.
That's the true sign that the fandom is dying. There we go. I remember
Can we
BronyCon
segue to that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, like that's come to be a bit of a concern because I pop in like once a year, so really to really touch base, and so much has just gone down, devolved in terms of engagement and productive output. You know?
I think the issue is with the fandom is it's so large that it's very spread out, so it's not as intense as it once was. The intensity
is much more collated.
I noticed that there's still a very large number of Bronies. Like last BronyCon still had like 9,000 people attended.
Yeah, but now they're all retarded.
It was less than the year before.
They were always retarded,
But at least we were productively retarded. Now we're just retarded.
It's kind of like how people say that, oh no, there's 10 million instead of 15 million World of Warcraft subs, then they're dying.
Oh no, World of Warcraft is doomed.
Well, that's a fair point, Red. But I mean, for me, my metric comes back to the old grandstands that I'm familiar with, which would be EQD, Ponychan's Fic, which is now dead, and FinFic.
Yeah.
Those are the things I have to go on to measure.
I think it's those sites definitely have kind of lost their time in the limelight.
Yeah.
I think it's partly because back when EQD first became a thing, it was like, oh, it's the place to go. There's only one place to go.
Yeah, it was the thing.
Yeah, it's the place to go for your stories, the place to go for your videos, the place to go for your art, the place to go for your news. Yeah. And since then we have like a half a dozen different news sites. We've got FimFic. We've got a bunch of other places to post your stories. Like, it's the fandom has spread out so much that it's no longer got the insane intensity that it once did.
It's got sub-communities now.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite a few, in fact.
Like one thing, like I used to basically religiously watch the EQD like music video posts, like PMVs and stuff like that, because back when those first started coming out, I was like, holy shit, people started making these amazing super pony beat music videos and stuff like that.
Actually, let's pause on that real quick. I want to shout out to the one, god damn it, what was it? The Hocus Pocus song with Luna?
Yes.
Like, the Come Little Children one?
Yes.
Oh my god,
that was fucking amazing. I love that.
Somebody was doing a cosplay of her at BC this year. I was actually pretty impressed.
Really? The song was great. I was not a huge fan of the animation.
Walk around, had like little kids. It was really cute.
Oh yes, I remember.
Slightly creepy, but also cute.
The people behind that duo cartoonists are working on a similar animation for the Moonrises.
Yeah,
really?
The Moonrises song is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I'm not familiar.
What's his name? Ponyphonics. Ponyphonics is a fantastic pony song, people. But like nowadays, I'll freely admit I don't look at most of the video posts simply because there are so many of them and they're all by people I've never heard of before, and I'm just I don't have much interest.
I mean, ultimately that's pretty cool. On top of that, also ultimately that's great. PMVs. But I'd really like to see some evidence and reassurance that the pony literature community is still going strong.
Well, here's the thing: is that back on the EQD day when you had the big hits, there like Pass-Ins or It's a Dangerous Business, Going Out Your Door, or Fall Equestrian.
Great one.
There was a smaller crowd writing, and generally those were the ones that were really dedicated. Now it's kind of spread out a little bit farther. You're getting a wider swath of people, and thus you're getting a wider swath of quality. So.
Right, but I still think we need that central hub. I really still think we need that central hub.
Comes into effect a lot more.
Well, fanfiction is like, I think that's something you need to appreciate is that fanfiction is a wonderful site. It is a beautifully coded site.
Oh God, yes.
That it's like we're really lucky to have, because otherwise we'd be on places like fanfiction.net.
Right, of course. But I mean, it's a repository.
Yeah, Early on in the fandom, people were just so amazed that there were pony fanfics, and they were okay. Like, I remember reading stuff by Nick Nack and all that sort of thing early in the days, like, holy shit, people wrote about Gilda, what the fuck kind of magic is this?
Yeah.
Alright, hold on, pause, everybody, pause real quick. That was a great fucking story Nick wrote. What was it called?
Heart of Gold, Feathers of Steel.
Feathers of Steel, that's right. That story is spectacular, and since we're on the moment, I'd like to bring to attention that this week is Nick Nack's birthday.
Is it?
Oh, happy birthday, Nick Nack.
So we are going to sing Nick Nack, the birthday song. Alright, everybody ready? On 3?
Wait, which birthday song? Which birthday song?
The only birthday song, dude. Is there more than one? One, happy birthday to you, that one?
Well, only recently is this one legal to sing without getting licensing sued. So
If somebody tries to sue you, direct them to me. I'm fine with that.
So, take him down on
Seattle.
Okay, let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Pick a tempo.
Happy birthday, dear Feather Duster. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Fucking right. I bought him a bottle of whiskey for his birthday.
Smell like one too.
And now, this is what we all learned today, is singing a song over a Google Hangout or any sort of online chat system is natively broken because of the simple fact that there's lag.
Yes.
And also we start laughing too much.
I like
Everybody take a shot.
Nobody lasted more than a line except Seattle. That was beautiful.
Seattle has the dedication to form groups and sing the entire damn song.
You're on fire.
He is our leader, so he would, of course, lead all the way.
I'm just glad I came at the end with the end of many more. But
that was excellent.
So yeah.
It's still just to continue on the important dates thing. I'm going to plug in a certain plug of it's past Sin's 5th anniversary at about.
Oh my god!
Happy birthday to you.
Which it's kind of weird because when do you celebrate a story that wasn't published all at once anniversary? When it was started or when it was ended, or do you just call the whole month? It's like I'm currently trying to work on something to celebrate it, and it's really close to start posting, but at the same time it's like, okay, it's going to end up probably being when Past Sins ended that I will get this posted, celebrate things, but yeah, no.
It's starting out with the right intentions, it's all good.
Yeah.
But it's like, 5 years since...
That's awesome, man. See, my work never had the expanse of your notoriety, but I think my definitive work at Divergence probably had 5-6 years now.
Yeah, no, it's like...
It's
7.
Welcome to feeling old.
Yeah, it's weird to think that
I've been there for years, man.
Yeah. Weird to think that the majority of people on FinFic joined after Past Sins was written. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's
very
weird.
I think I may have, actually.
All these fucking weapons.
Damn it, Arch. You're so young and youthful.
That's the first time I've heard that for a long time.
God.
By the way, completely randomly, just want to have a shout out to Monochromatic because she's wonderful and fun.
Did she watch you in the stream?
Did she then?
Yes, Monochromatic is listening. She needs to come on the podcast sometime, but she's worried that we would be too intimidating.
Oh, bring her on the chat. Bring her in the chat right now. I'll say hi.
Yeah, if she comes on, you're not allowed, Seattle.
Yeah.
I love you, but no.
I'm banned from my Angel's chat? What's going on?
You have to be in the distance speaking through a speaker. You're telling us what a good job we've done.
Hello. Hello.
This is where we announce the mutiny. Pav is now Pav's Angels.
Wait, I've got a couple of heads on spikes already. This tried to happen before, I remember.
You're prepared for this.
Oh yeah, always. You can't fucking tolerate a mutiny, man. This doesn't work.
This is a mutiny. On what grounds? For failure to prevent a mutiny.
And then you just shoot everybody, so fuck it, you did your job good.
Retired without honors. There we go.
On that
I have to ask about Creepy Darkness. Like, how many times did you play Alan Wake?
I had played Alan Wake before that, and I had just replayed it, but so at least 2, but I don't know how much higher than that it would go.
because I actually had a friend who played Alan Wake who read the fic and went, "Yeah, this is actually pretty close to the original game."
Yeah. Alan Wake.
Yeah, that's the thing is.
I don't remember.
Like,
I don't remember much of that.
Somebody talk, for the love of Christ.
Red.
I was just gonna say I don't remember much of that fic, but I do remember this one section where I think Alan Wake turns into a pony for a little while.
Yep.
But I thought it was kind of nice because that stood out to me because normally this would be the point where like the other ponies would be like, hey, you look kind of good as a pony, but instead of Rainbow Dash, it's just like, what the hell are you? You look better as a pony.
You look like a freak.
Oh dear me. Right, go on then, Pen. You were saying.
But yeah, no, it just for some reason when I play that game, it's like Alan Wake's that narration style gets stuck in my head.
That's fair enough. Like,
and the cat returns.
Hey.
It's a different cat.
Hello, Treacle.
Oh,
It looks like the same cat.
It's
Have
a different-
clones.
yes, they do that.
It's a different cat.
You can tell the difference because this one has 4 legs.
Yeah, the
And
other
the
one
other
only
one?
has 3.
Yeah,
Six?
the other one is Pogo Cat. It has 3 legs after it was very silly.
But now, you see that's not a good way to identify clones. You shouldn't have cut off the other leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was hungry,
What
man.
about
You
here?
know, what am I supposed to do? What did it have?
That's when you take the
You
tail.
wanted a kebab. Yeah. Genuine kebab meat. Yeah, pretty much.
Yes!
Hey guys, does anybody happen to check out a story by Saddle Soap Opera called A New Age?
A New Age. Let me have a quick
It
look.
rings a bell.
But I have not yet read it.
I know of Saddle Soap Opera.
Yeah, I met him at
I'll
the
get down.
Canterlot Con the 1 year it happened.
Yeah,
Really?
So
Sweet guy.
it's actually pretty damn good. I mean, he misuses M dashes, but other than that,
God.
But it needs to be
Oh,
found
no.
that everybody misuses M dashes.
Yeah.
well, yeah, well, they should.
I'm English. We use N dashes.
And you know what? No, that's not even remotely the case. It used to be. N dashes are for, generally speaking, a purely parenthetical usage. M dashes have a wide variety, and they've recently been picked up in the English dialectics. So,
You
just
sound
so
like
you know.
you're quoting the fucking
No,
rap
man.
star.
Sounds like a
it's my-
museum tour.
It's what I do for a living.
Mom, didn't me and Court tell you to join EQD you have to memorize the style guide?
Yeah,
It
true
used to
enough.
be.
If
I
you
wrote
have
that
a style
bitch.
guide.
Oh, yeah. Strunk and white.
Oh, fucking
Drunken Light, yes. You know what? That's my new moniker.
You no
That's what
longer
you want
got
to
a
see.
light, you're now strunk and white.
I'm drunken and stroking light.
I am going to.
Just don't go for the low-hanging fruit.
Right.
We learned about that already.
Yes.
I have
Like
this on my
Art
read
Spirit.
later list. Oh,
Oh.
well, there we go.
Oh.
You've
Must have
heard
had
it before.
recently. I'll have to read it now. I'll put it on my read sooner list.
Read soon.
So, just out of curiosity, has anybody actually read my story, Divergence?
No.
Like the first
My
five
My
Okay.
aim
minutes.
was haven't even read my fucking
Or-
story.
I unpublished it 5 minutes ago. It was really- I couldn't.
I actually remember that was one of the first stories I read, and I was
I've read it.
Kind of stopped. Like, you
Really?
just kind of stopped reading it, and then that pissed me off because I
Well,
was
yeah,
so
you
excited.
I did.
You got up to juxtaposition, and it's like, fuck. Where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
Well, I read
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
4 chapters, so I must have liked some of it.
Oh yeah, I have read
Right
this
on,
one.
right on.
Cool.
I've read it.
Actually, I should probably
I
organize
wanted
this
you to
into
continue. It was quite
called
annoyed when you
Seattle
stopped.
Light offline for 49 weeks and 3
Yeah,
days.
49 weeks. The last offline was like for 100 weeks, so I'm doing better.
That's an improvement.
It is. By like 60%, man.
Yeah, you're getting better.
Slowly but
Oh,
surely.
yeah. I think I have read this one.
I will have to finish that one of these days.
You really should have.
Last
Resurrection!
one of these days. Last updated 12th of September 2012.
Oh
Yep.
shit, really?
Yeah.
4 years of
Yeah,
Hang on.
stagnation.
Hang on. Chapter 1 was
I
uploaded
think-
on the
I
28th
think-
of September 2012.
I think Seattle, you may have to reread your own story just to get
Oh
back into it.
no, I've had to do that 3 times. Every time I add on a new chapter after
Hang
we read
on.
the whole fucking thing.
September 2012 was when season 3 No,
Wait, no, yeah, three.
Season 3 started, yeah.
Yeah.
So a whole 3 seasons of Pony have happened since you last wrote or last updated that story.
Hiatus, don't forget that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well.
I find it very disturbing how many of my favourite authors haven't been online for more than 20 weeks.
Yeah.
That always worries
The author
me.
of the fic that I wrote a side story of, which I shall not name because it tends to be polarized,
Yes, you will.
hasn't been online for 168 weeks.
168.
Tell us.
What? It begins with X.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
one.
know what you're talking
The
about.
side stories update a lot.
X?
Well, yeah, some of them do. Some of them have been updating like crazy and
I
with
don't know what
10,000
you're talking about.
all over the place. I have no idea what's going on.
Sierra 7 has been offline for 164 weeks. Rest in peace, you beautiful bastard.
Which one was Sierra 7?
I just remember him as one of the Trainwreck Explorers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that group.
Oh, that group was pissy with SA.
Yeah, they were so salty.
With what,
they
sorry?
were.
They were salty with what, sorry, what?
Oh, with the group
Trainwreck
itself.
Explorers?
SA, Trainwreck Explorers slightly preceded Seattle's Angels. And they got
They did.
super butthurt when SA got on, the front page of FinFic. Like,
And
what are we
oh,
doing
yeah.
this
Way more
weeks,
popular.
goddammit?
I don't think Trainwreck Explorers did.
Maybe
I'm pretty
certain self-proclaimed
They're
members
admins.
of it did.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
admin.
I was an admin for the Trainwreck Explorers.
Oh, well then, perhaps we stand corrected. There was, a couple of groups.
Yeah,
who got pretty
clearly.
salty in
Salty,
SA.
but did it really well.
Yeah.
In his cold stone heart.
Now, Plum, you're like Schrodinger's cat, right? People who know you aren't going to fucking profess the same irritation with the group you're a part of that they will to the rest of the anonymous world.
Piss him on about that.
Is this-
No, I love it.
Yeah,
Is
they're
this
like,
like
not
criticism
you,
of,
Professor, but everybody else, all those fuckers.
Yeah.
Of course, yes, of course. Oh, dear.
No more questions for
Hmm?
Penstroke. This is kind of disturbing, I have to be honest.
I think it's because there's been, Penstroke didn't blog this thing, so none of his fans have actually turned up to,
Yeah.
let's
Well,
face it.
let's see how much warning I got.
Dude, you had several days. We were going to do this yesterday, but we gave you a whole extra day to do it.
No, wait, then rewind. How does you gave me a whole extra day turn into several days?
That's
I'm
what I'm
pretty sure-
wondering.
I'm
More
pretty sure
than
I
one.
talked to you before yesterday. But,
No.
Well then.
I
Then you had a
tried to, but he never answered me.
there you go then.
I passed like a handful of chat combos of me going, "Hey Pen, are you around? Hey Pen, can I ask you a question? Hey Pen, am I just annoying you and that's why you never fucking answer?"
No, wait. The lies. I am looking at the Skype logs. The lies. The last time you tried was April.
Wow,
And
brutal.
April,
and
so
I
you had
must
one.
have missed it.
There we
I'm
go.
sorry.
There you go.
Yes.
The proof.
Well,
Pretty much.
and
I
you
can
just
count.
need to wait until like 5 minutes before the stream ends, and then blog about how you're on a stream.
Yeah. That's what most people do.
Fuck, I should have blogged about... Oh, excuse my French. Oh, fiddle. I should have blogged about this. Never mind.
Fucking arch.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Yeah, what a bugger.
I've been consciously trying to swear less simply because my job does rely on me being in the public eye basically 24/7. So I've been saying a lot of flipping Mary and Christ on a bike. I've said that a couple of times. Oh my god.
You should work Heavens to Betsy into something, Plum.
Yeah.
Heavens to Betsy. I'll need to work that in. Absolutely. My grandmother said that every bloody day of her life. I don't remember a single day where she didn't say heavens to Betsy.
My grandmother didn't.
My grandmother used to say porch monkeys a lot. It's pretty terrible.
Christ.
And that tells us everything we need to know about her.
My grandmother was Irish, so you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that. So we know what
She
was
never
talking
said
about.
anything repeatable.
No, pretty much.
Not in polite company, at least. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Well, she was never in polite company, fortunately for her.
Yeah, sure enough, yeah, she's Irish. Oh dear
All right,
me.
Pat, tell me about why it's beyond her years and your bias against zebras.
Racist.
That wasn't meant to be biased against zebras. That was because I wanted Zecora to be super awesome.
Okay.
It's just the fact that the description reads as, you could totally change it to Jewish, and it still works.
Oh!
What?
Whoa!
Okay,
I
here's the
appreciate that
description.
one.
There is a secret in Equestria, a secret the newly crowned Princess Twilight Sparkle doesn't dare to believe. Like puppeteers pulling on marionettes, they have influenced Equestria for better and worse since the fall of Discord. So far they have been benevolent, but their potential for evil is vast. What's worse, she doesn't know their name. She doesn't know their mission. All she knows for certain is one thing, that they all seem to be zebra.
Okay, hold on. What? How is this tied into Jews? What?
They're Freemasons and they run the country.
So it's a secret cabal, if you will. But they must all have yarmulkes.
How do you be a secret zebra? How the fuck does that work?
Well,
You just get a bunch of you paint some black stripes on where your white stripes
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
you're a
Arch
donkey.
is now promoting blackface. This is
Here's the thing.
confirmed.
There's black everything, not just black face.
Have you ever seen a zebra in real life? No. Boom. There you go. Conspiracy proven. You can't.
I actually have.
I
They
have.
pay me a check quite
Could've said
regularly.
that,
Kill
come on.
for them.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
What
guys.
even are zebras?
I'm gonna have to be off. I've been on the clock for this entire podcast. So
That's what makes it
I've pretty much been making $40 an hour for the last podcast. So I appreciate you.
God, how do I get on that scam?
Right? I'm telling you. I'm actually doing a thing for freelance writers. Come join it. I'll post links in most of the chats for this initiative. And
Excellent.
I love you guys. Keep kicking ass, angels. And I will talk to you all soon.
Alright, see you later, dude.
Say it.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, and by soon he means in 6 months.
Yep.
Yes.
There we go.
I'm
That's-
loving
that's-
there's a little chat on the side here.
Yes.
I'm
Jesus.
fond of all Philias, says Seattle.
And there's also the, any live fights recorded, I want to see Luna cosplay beat the shit out of Celestia cosplayer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, and then
Celestia
Mario.
would kick the ass of Luna.
Do you think if we paid enough money, it might?
Dude, I would pay money for the Celestia just to fuck up a Luna cosplay. That would be great. That'd be fucking beautiful.
Yeah, but you'd have to pay extra because Luna would, by default, fuck up Celestia first.
So, no. You see, this is here. Next year, BrodyCon.
Yeah.
John Cena and Celestia.
Showdown!
Exactly.
John Cena with a tiara, just pile driving cosplayers.
Could I like Skyrider's tiara this year?
Oh my god.
That was beautiful, man.
Can we please just get John Cena pushing the magic of friendship? At the
Yeah. We need
Yes.
that.
I mean, he just did an advert promoting like gay marriage and stuff like that. I'm sure we could get him to do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. He did an advert about about gay marriage in America and how it's American to not hate gay people.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that.
Did the little infomercial thing where he walks down the street and describes all the Americans.
Yes. While they conveniently walk by behind him in a totally not fake-ass way.
Do you think he
Yeah.
noticed?
Do you think he noticed? Yeah.
So he's talking about them walking behind him. He's like,
Yeah. Like they can just hear him talking about black people and Mexicans are like, what is John Cena doing talking about me? And like, oh god. So yeah. We can get John Cena to do this. This is our goal for BronyCon 2017.
Oh,
get
clearly.
John Cena to
Fuck it.
clothesline.
I will show up for that.
Jesus. I was like I'm halfway between this is a great idea and halfway between Jesus fuck it's 2017 and I'm still involved in this fucking fandom. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm still in the Simpsons fandom.
Oh god.
I've been in the Simpsons fandom since it started.
I'm pretty sure that show's never going to end until all of the voice actors die of old age.
No,
pretty
Like every single one of them.
It's literally one of those, they complain, and they're like, we really want to quit, and then Fox just looks and goes, how much money will it take?
They had a few zeros and everyone's happy again.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no man. Fox goes, no. Shh. Here's a check.
they just stuff a roll of dollar bills into their mouth.
Yes, exactly.
No, it's literally just they offer them too much money to refuse.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'd like to quit, but I mean, I can't refuse this cash.
It's like, I don't have to do any other voice acting ever.
Yeah, this Jesus Christ, Arch.
I've got some dollars left over from when I was over in the States.
I like the fact they were authentic dollars. Great.
Yeah, that was perfect. So what is your headcanon about Zecora Pen?
Yes, do tell us.
Now, you see, the thing
Well, I
about
asked him to tell me about Wise Beyond Her Years, and that just sort of devolved. So I figured I'd try a different angle.
Well,
is this gonna evolve into a rant about me ranting about how Jewish people are portrayed in Wolfenstein: The New Order again?
How about we
No,
leave that until
shut up and let Pen talk.
Now, you see, my headcanon about that changes. I could tell you the headcanon for Wise Beyond Her Years, the fan canon that we use for Wise Beyond Her Years, but that spoils everything.
Darn.
So, your headcanon's constantly changing. Is your headcanon at any point Zecora's potions can't melt steel beams? Is that what we're getting to?
No. I'm too sober for this.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Oh, dear. I need my
Like
apple
Gin
juice.
and tonic and I'm too sober for this.
Like, yes, Zecora's potions can't melt steel beams because they regrow teeth.
Okay.
So basically, you'll have a steel beam that's just covered in teeth.
Oh, Christ,
that's
that's some sort of nightmare.
Yeah, that's my phobia. Jesus Christ.
It's mine now as well, yeah.
That is probably a dentist's phobia. It's like, sir, we need you to do a dental procedure.
That's a dentist's dream, because that's a few thousand quid in the bank immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, they'd have to bridge it afterwards, you know, because of all the.
Oh, dearie me.
Oh, my dentist retired recently.
Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
I live in fear for when mine does, because he's amazing.
Yeah, mine was amazing too. Oddly enough, he was Jewish.
Confirmed. Illuminati. So, good thing you're moving to Bourneville then, because of all the places in the world, I expect the town built for a chocolate factory would have a pretty decent dentist.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Probably does. It has a dozen medical GPs offices.
Bourneville's a pretty nice place.
It is. I'm not actually going to be living in Bourneville. I'm going to be living a bit west of it.
A bit west of it.
Yeah.
So you're a bit west of a decent dentist. Okay.
Go shopping all the time. I like shopping. I buy shoes.
So what's the story behind Drop of Moonshine and Mug of Heart Cider? Was it literally just, I want to see drunk ponies and nobody else is doing it?
Yes.
That's fair.
Glad to know. Oh, dearie me. No,
Drunk ponies are hilarious.
And that, and I think I just wanted to play with the pun. It's moonshine.
But I love how she makes it, too. That was brilliant.
I've seen a few people play with that pun, but rarely so cleverly.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
How is that clever? I mean,
Look, honestly, the things it's compared to.
It's like the most obvious thing. It's moonshine.
I know, but it's like it's clever compared to the things I've seen using it. So there you go.
For those who don't understand, the way Luna makes moonshine is literally she looks at the moon, she waits for it to shine into a mug, and then she waves her hooves around and hey look, hard liquor.
Hooray!
I mean, isn't that how you do it?
Well, yeah,
Like,
but duh.
I don't get the joke here. What's funny about this?
Well, I mean, I'm a musclehead, which means I do things differently than you weird, squishy people.
And fruit.
Yeah. The thing is, Plum, they don't know about how Scotland actually works.
Right, okay. So they don't know the fact that you can just walk up to a face circle at any point and just pull out a bottle of whiskey.
Pretty much, yeah.
These are like distillery is just code for a fairy circle.
Yeah, I mean they build those big, huge buildings with all those stills and everything. It's like that. It's all a big con.
It's all a big ruse. Yeah.
A big ruse. It's just for the tourists. They go around the back. They go around the. It's like the Irish with Guinness. Nobody knows that it's actually just dredged up from the bottom of the Liffey.
Anyone who says
now, fun fact: I've been to Scotland. I've been to your neck of the woods, sir. And I was there as part of a marching band.
Ooh,
that sounds fun.
Cool.
Now that's some nerd cred right there.
we marched in the cavalcade band the cavalcade bands before the Tattoo Music Festival, and we were positioned in the parade in front of a all-male cross-dressing theater group.
Sounds about right, yeah.
So a bunch of Scots, in other words.
Yeah.
Like Panther
Well, no,
Days, I'm used to them.
They were at least trying. I think some of them were Elvis.
Not Elvira?
It was, but no, but yeah, no, but the thing is, it was a little scary getting back because that was the day that someone tried to make bombs with shampoo bottles on a French flight.
Oh yeah.
And so we were trying to go through the airport that day. And let's see.
Goody.
I was security screened about 6 times. No carry-ons except your wallet, some money, and an ID.
Because you are the most suspicious
all the
person.
shops were closed in the terminal, and so we were looking forward to the 14-hour flight with absolutely nothing to maintain.
No.
And I was told
man.
later that we were like one of the last flights allowed to leave that morning before the U.S. closed the borders in fear and terror. And then when we got to the U.S., we saw the customs people this was when it's like they were starting to do the no liquids, and oh my God, there was so much good liquor just being left by the garbage can. Whoever raided the garbage cans of
Must have been in
JFK that night, it's like, was going to get all the things.
Yeah.
So what instrument did you play, Pat?
Primarily trombone, though for that trip I got talked into switching over to the sousaphone.
That's an interesting
gosh, you
conversion.
poor thing.
Sousaphone.
Yeah.
Like a saxophone, but scaled up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's a tuba that wraps around your body. They were big, they were white, they were fiberglass.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
This was the Wyoming High School All-State Marching Band, so we were walking around in white pants, white shoes, following around horses in a parade, so that all turned brown really quick towards the bottom. And polyester red and blue shirts with big white plastic cowboy hats. And, we were. It's like I've also.
Oh, I have photos of this. That sounds riotous.
And it was all sponsored by Pepsi.
Oh, well, that explains everything.
Yep. Hey, whatever gets you to Scotland, right?
No, you can't
So was
get into
that,
Scotland.
you were in Edinburgh then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, no, we didn't perform as part of the cavalcade of bands, but we got to watch it in the castle there in Edinburgh.
Yeah, Edinburgh is a really nice city. I was in not so long ago myself. It's a lovely place. I wouldn't mind living there if only it wasn't so expensive and so far away from where I work.
Yeah, that's probably a downside, the latter bit.
The commute would be awful.
Yeah, true
Yeah,
enough.
really.
The commute would be nearly American levels of commuting.
I don't know how they do that. What the fuck?
I have no idea.
I remember Magella was talking about because Mags is ex-Navy, so he's like not working in them. But like one day, his father left his wallet at home, so he drove to his father's work in order to give him his wallet, right? Because that's the fair thing to do.
Yeah.
The drive there was an hour, and it was an hour back as well. Like,
I know a couple people that work at my place that drive about an hour and a half, 2 hours to work every day.
What?
Gosh.
America makes no sense.
It's too big.
Yeah, I'm about to make you all very mad at me.
How short is your commute?
I walk to work in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I drive to work at 10. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I drive too.
So
Yeah,
if Mags
the
is
only advantage
listening,
of me
send me a
getting
message
up-
back because we want to have you on the damn podcast.
Yes, show us your bile.
Them and Mono. We'll get Mono on at some point.
Yeah,
Yes.
it will be great fun.
Assuming she wants to be on, I mean...
I mean, I'd hope she does because I think it'd be
Yeah.
really fun to have her. We'll have like Skeeter on too, and we'll just all like fangirls them at her.
Yes!
It'll be great. She needs ego boosting.
and she'll just sit there like this all the time.
That'll be adorable.
I'll fill in the intimidation effect then, shall I? Seeing as we'll be too busy fangirling. Oh, dearie me. But yeah, so I don't understand America. I don't understand it. How can you drive an hour to an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever the fuck to work and then do it again at the end of the day? Like,
No,
Now, you see, that's just metropolitan areas, so it's just, yes, it's crazy, and that's why I did my very best to move very close to where I work. I'm not going to deal with that. I value my time enough that I will pay a higher rent to not have to do that
Yeah.
shit.
yeah.
Sorry. But if you go to my hometown of Worland, Wyoming, you don't worry about that. Smaller communities don't worry about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am from a town of 5,000.
Yeah, it's just that town is miles away from anywhere ever.
Yeah.
That's why.
It is I will admit, it's an hour and a half to the nearest Walmart.
I like how
that
that's how
existed
you
in America.
gauge distance is between Walmart.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
it's like
So fucking American of you, Ben.
it's like you drive an hour and a half here. You're halfway across the fucking country.
Dude, it takes
Yeah.
me. No, it's an hour and a half from here to Scotland. Like,
Yes.
I am in a.
I
Well,
drive an
that's
hour and a
kinda-
half here, and I get to downtown.
that,
Oh, and
yeah,
you
that's
did that in
kinda-
London, but that's because the traffic's
Yeah.
terrible.
but
Yeah.
that's kind of like the spread. It's like it's like you get across the Pacific Ocean. I'm feeling like that's right.
Atlantic.
Thank you.
It's- yeah.
And you can
What's
drive
that
that long
trope
and you
about-
cross country borders. Then you get to the East Coast of the United States. You drive that long, you can cross state borders. And things just get ridiculous after that.
Hmm.
I live in Florida. I drove for 8 hours, and I was still in Florida.
Yeah, I live in Ontario, Southern Ontario. If I drive 8 hours, I will probably still be in the province.
Wow. If
Well,
I
that's
drive
good.
8 hours, I'll be drowning.
Canada is basically like
It's like it doesn't matter which way you drive.
Yeah,
Eight
pretty
I'm
hours,
gonna drown.
Like there's like one point in the entire of the British Isles which is more than I can't remember how far away it is from the coast. What is it?
No, 50 miles, I think.
So since I have people who are over in that that neighborhood of the world, I'm going to crack open a horrible can of worms, and I want to counter ask a question. What's your opinion on the Brexit situation?
Oh God, why?
And that's the end of the stream, folks.